Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's meeting. Good to see friends. Before we start the transmission and the co-creation, I would like to mention some maybe updates or maybe some guidance that is good for all of us to see and consider. Sometimes I mention the portals, and today is the 3-3 portal. It's the 3rd of March. And we actually always have the trinitized frequencies available to us, but today we can actually um, be aided by these very powerful crystalline photonic light waves that are hitting the planet at this moment. They're always hitting the planet, and they're actually rising in frequency. And we do not have to be baffled by the chaos that is presented in the outside world. The chaos is just here to crumble the old. Yes. And the old is crumbling, uh, which sometimes the ego wants to get a hold of because that's the only thing we know. And we see that things, events, people are actually shifting in and out of our lives at a higher rate than usual. These changes are happening more frequently, and sometimes our ego construct, which is not a bad thing at all, that's what kind of allowed you to make it so far anyway, is not used to these shifts. So let us drop into this space of knowing that when the older is crumbling, the only reason the old is crumbling is to assemble something new in a more masterful way. That is a very powerful consideration. If the old is crumbling, it is doing so in order to reassemble our reality in a more masterful, more aligned way. And if I look back in my life, and I remember those instances where I was so clutching to the old, so adamantly clutching to the old, and I really did not want the change to occur. I mean, I had no choice. The change occurred. And from this perspective, I see very clearly that it was for my highest good. It was for my true highest good, for my evolution. Because how many times do we repeat that everything is here to serve us? Now, what is very, very useful to consider is that the collective density had been actually disassembled. It's not accessible. So if we consider that there was, just imagine if we were placed in a bubble, like an invisible bubble of frequency bandwidth. And that frequency bandwidth was there to pose a certain reality for this human collective, yes? Then that bubble was burst. It's no longer here. Some some say also maybe I can align with the dissolution of the karmic looping, that now we are not tied and locked into replaying our karmic lessons. But this collective density was much more than just karma. It was all the inversions. It was all the manipulation of our DNA. It was all the manipulation of the energetic or the frequency field, so that the scalar flashing sequences, and this is quantum science, are happening in a very rigid order. And the only power in our ascension, which is a huge power, that is presented to us is this immense opportunity to shift, and shift very fast. And what I'm noticing is that when we had, think back 20 years ago, we were very much trained to think in a very binary manner. My life is either working or it's not working. I was a spiritual seeker 20 years ago as well. And I was saying, oh, is the technique I'm practicing helping or it's not helping? Am I more stifled by my ego or I'm not? Now, as we are ascending and we have more access to higher dimensional frequencies, higher dimensional realities, we have to have this prowess to know that your reality is not ever binary. It's not either this or that, meaning it is this and that, and another 5 to 10 life possibilities that are occurring in that moment. So yes, there's the dissolution, and there is also higher bandwidth. There's maybe grief for the old, but there is also this freedom, sense of freedom that is occurring through the dissolution of the old. And then you might have noticed that your memory is not very much serving you, but that's also very pertinent at this time, because our memory sometimes is also mind inversion, because our memory is also reconjuring the trauma in our bodies. So it is actually a freedom not to have memory. Just consider that. And the last session I talked about letting go and surrendering. And we are asked to surrender because higher dimensional reality is giving us this teaching, if you're plugging into it, that everything is here. Every possibility is right here. And who you are is that conscious presence that can flow intuitively, consciously, in loving awareness with all of the possibilities that are presented to us moment to moment. Now, that is mastery. I'm also hearing that at this time, because it's very intense, it's good to practice. Practices like the Human Garage, Daniela is offering services, or many other modalities that are here to actually aid the integration of our DNA upgrades. And today, the DNA upgrades are very strong. So let us bear with that. And we're going to also harmonize deeper our fields. So these well springs of expanded energies are actually baptizing us. The well springs of energetic frequencies are baptizing us. And moment to moment, we are ascending into this higher and higher and higher embodiment of our Christed being. Yes, so this is so very important. And last, I want to mention that obviously we as souls have signed up to have this limited experience, a limited experience in a body. Yes. And the body is part of Maya. Maya is the illusion, but let us not forget that Maya is also made from the aura of light. Isn't that beautiful? If your true being is light, then the illusion is just the aura of light of your true being. That is so powerful. So if we tap into, which we do every single time through our meditations, if we imbibe and entrain with staying in this loving awareness, which is your self as the light, then you're automatically course correcting everything. And there's absolutely no need to do, to strive, to achieve, because all of that striving, doing is then accessed and done through you, which is not a very, it's not very comfortable for the ego. But willy-nilly, our egos are being transcended. And now everything is accentuated. So if we are avoiding something, it's accentuated. If we are having this intention to truly surrender and be one with our Christed being, it's accentuated. So watch how you are flowing through the day, and you will see very clearly what you give power to. Most of the time it's unconscious, so it's fine. Even if you're giving power to your powerlessness, it's fine. But as soon as it's seen, you have this innermost power at this moment to change it. And every time, remember that you are the self-conscious light itself. Self-conscious meaning conscious of itself. It is such an incredible intelligence. I like to reiterate Adyashanti's analogy when he says, we recognize that the ego is like that person driving the car. But in actuality, it is the universe or the universal consciousness that is aiding everything and anything that is occurring in one's life. It is just only our limited perception that we are doing it. There's a doer here who is doing these things. And then the more advanced seeker would say, okay, I'll sit at the back of the car. But the ego is fooling the seeker and says, oh, but still hold on to the wheel. Yeah. And it takes a while to just slide your hands off of that wheel. And that doesn't mean that you just sit and do nothing. It is that discernment, the trust, the faith that is allowing you to allow life through you. And life is divinity. Whatever is happening through you is life as divinity. That is, it's so profound. It gives such profundity to every single moment. And the ego, all the ego needs to do is be allowed to be loved back into wholeness. Because the ego is there and it acts out its own programs. And when the programs such as now are destabilized, it causes a lot of pain. Even if we have a spiritual ego, a spiritual ego is the same ego as prior to your spiritual mission, is just now holding on to some new different theories and creating self identity through those theories. So at the end, we're asked to let go of everything. If you're a true seeker of knowing who you truly are. And ideally, the seeking needs to stop, but we're not going to get into that. So the world is a reflection. Everything in our reality is a reflection. And we need to take responsibility. Okay. So let's start the process. Allow yourself to consider that anything and everything that is leaving your life is here to be masterfully rearranged for your highest good. Tap into this altar of God, which is your spine. The altar of God. And just see that it is like a tree of life, the spine. And the tailbone starts to grow roots, these beautiful roots of light that is moving, reconnecting your consciousness to the center of this planet. And see that you are getting in touch with your Earth Star chakra underneath your feet. It's 6 inches underneath your feet. So feel that your root tailbone is connected to the center of your feet, which are beautiful, very, very powerful chakras. And those chakras, they may or may not touch the floor. It doesn't matter. But consciously connect them to your Earth Star chakra, 6 inches below your feet. This conscious reconnection is also revitalizing your body, because your body and the body of this planet is one. So we are realigning with the Schumann resonance of the area that we're residing in. We are rewriting now our current hologram as we co-joined our beautiful light pillars in this very powerful space and created a portal. Our hearts are self-generating each pillar of light, which is sustained through our spine and also through our multi-dimensional bodies. And we declare that only the highest truth, love, wisdom, and the will of one can come through this co-joined space in a form of teaching, healing, transmutation, transmission, revealing, upgrading of DNA, and reinstating the Christed blueprint. Thank you. We are strengthening now our connection. The tree or this lightning rod, the tree trunk or the lightning rod, which is our spine. And then we move our consciousness from the Earth star into the fifth dimensional crystalline grid. And just see the crystalline grid is zigzagging through the entire planet, through all of the power points of this planet. And these power points that are aiding our multi-dimensional consciousness, whether it be through holy places or just simply energy vortices. We are now consciously connecting to them through our Earth star and harmonizing to this planetary consciousness. We have our individual consciousness, collective consciousness, planetary consciousness, galactic consciousness, cosmic consciousness, and so on. Harmonizing with this planetary wisdom. And from this fifth dimensional crystalline grid, we move all the way to the 13th dimension, which is the heart of this planet. And just see the heart of this planet. It's also a crystal. You can imagine it is this pale silver light. Pale silver light. And it's emitting these frequencies of harmony, rejuvenation, harmonizing with your own heart. Just feel that automatically the 13th dimensional frequencies that are then connected also to the pre-matter fields are oozing up from this pale silver white light through light cords, through your earth star. Earth star is the 12th dimension. And feel that your earth star is now feeding your root, which is your tailbone, through your feet. So as the feet would be these suctioning cups, aligning to be fed these crystalline frequencies. Aligning with the planetary consciousness, but as well as the cosmic consciousness. You can even see these spaces light up your earth star, the 2 feet chakras, your knees. It's very powerful. Feel that you are allowing actually to be replenished by the silver, pale silver white light. And then up through your knees, through your thighs, into the tailbone. And our tailbone is now harmonizing with this planetary consciousness prior to any and all inversions, prior to inorganic overlays into our planetary consciousness. So what we are doing is we're fully replugging ourselves into our divine blueprint that is very, very, very necessary. Know that Christed frequencies that are our original photonic, hydrophotonic frequencies are available to us since 2012. And these frequencies are now growing in power. That's why you see so much commotion on your planet. Because the old inverted system is being deconstructed by the power of the crystalline light. Everything you know to be true is not so. Allow right now the root to connect to your crown. Connect it through the spine grid. And you're clearly rejuvenating your entire hologram. Know that you are as the luminous self throughout 15 dimensions. The body that you see is only a densified version of light. Transmission means that these words are emitting a particular frequency that is meant to reharmonize, reinstate your natural being prior to any and all inversions. It is like a recoding process back into your perfected, Christed being. Feel into this plasma field that we've co-created. It is an experiential, existential recognition. Feel that you are embodying peace, embodying presence and loving awareness. Notice that in order to change anything and everything in your hologram, which you call your life or reality, you first have to see it. Because everything is a fluctuation of energy. And if you are more masterfully seeing what is in the field, then you can correct it. You can upgrade it. You can remove what's not necessary and add what may be necessary. And that is part of your conscious creatorship. But the basic tenet is that you need to be the field where all phenomena occur. Clear seeing, sensing, discerning. Just allow this visual effect of this replenishing of the root chakra through the 13th dimension. It's like a fountain of light, pushing this beautiful conscious plasma light of pale silver frequencies and pushing it into the root, speeding up all of the particles. And the energy then is pushed through the spine all the way up to your crown. Through the crown, it's pushed way up into your soul star. Way up all the way 1 meter, around 36 inches above your head, which is the 14th dimension. It's your stellar gateway, the Antakarana. Your entire field is becoming a self-conscious, self-aware field of light. It is healing the distortions, the overlays, the implants, the holographic inserts, the bleed throughs through parallel timelines, adjacent timelines. And now, as the pillar of light from the 13th dimension all the way up to the 14th, they're not in a linear sequence as you've noticed. Envision this light. Each one of you is already in there. And we're going to empower this frequency even more by visualizing a Merkaba or a 6-pointed star in the center of your head. These are technologies of upgrading. Visualize this beautiful star, 6-pointed star, upward moving triangle, downward moving triangle pushed together. It's glowing, shimmering, expanding in this as silver pale white light. It is this photonic plasma light. Feel it. And know that, and do not dwell too much on this. The top triangle is moving in one direction and the bottom triangle is moving in another direction. So all we can see is a ball of light, silver pale light, the center of our head. And notice that this beautiful frequency is harmonizing your brainwave. It is now reconnecting you to your highest soul frequency. This is the all-knowing, all-seeing, all-loving I. Make an intention to connect to your soul or higher self. Feel how powerful your soul is. It's much bigger than your body. And if you're sitting there baffled, saying, I don't feel anything, that's perfect. Because it's there nonetheless. Just feel this immense presence, which is your soul. You're multitasking, you're zooming into the center of your head through this moving Merkaba. It looks like a ball of light, silver light. And at the same time, you feel your expanded being as the soul. So beautiful. Automatically, your soul is communicating so much to you in a form of feelings of love, the form of feelings of acceptance that everything is exactly the way it needs to be. The soul is communicating with you in a form of gratitude, in a form of honor. The soul is honoring this human, the seeming actor on this stage of life. The soul is that immense light power that gives you and everything the opportunity to individuate. When it's like a drop from the ocean, when the drop is fully one with the ocean, it's not a drop. And when there is a drop, the drop does not notice the ocean, but they're the same. We're asking the soul to descend in this body avatar, allowing for the reconnection of all of the 12-strand DNA, rewriting. I'm asking now our guide to open all of our 72,000 nadis. If there's any blockages in the subtle energy body, opening the nadis, reversing any and all black portals, closing them, any and all energy leakages. Feel your kidneys throbbing. Those are the containers of energy in your body. The soul blesses the body. Again, be conscious of this ball of light, the center of your head. And now we're determining connection with our oversoul. An oversoul is a more expanded version of your multidimensional body or self or being. It includes many other souls, collective. The next connection is with our Rishi self, our solar Rishi self. Pure light. And then the next level is the ascended master self. And you're moving more and more from one to many, from singularity to multiplicity, which then ends in singularity nonetheless, but from individuation into expanded oneness with all. Our ascended master self is not one, it is a collective, just like your oversoul. And as you are reconnecting all of these lost parts of yourself through all the 15 dimensions, it is realigning your remembrance, realigning, fine-tuning all of the layers of your experiential reality. Notice that the lid, if there was any, the top of your head, the crown, is now burst through this immense light. And you expand into this field of ever expanding photonic light. It is the limited human crucified by light, crucified in a transcendental sense. Interestingly, the sacred geometry symbol of Master Jesus's soul is a crucifix, harmonizing the plane, the vertical, and the horizontal into the 0 point. You are becoming, moment to moment, masters, masters that are meant to resuscitate this planet, this collective consciousness. The power of our light is rewriting all the darkness. We no longer need to dwell on that which does not serve us as a collective or as an individual. You're reconnected moment to moment to your ascended master self as your own master. Realigning with the highest will, moment to moment. All the layers of your heart, from the emotional layer, the highest, kind of more superficial layer, all the way to the cosmic heart and beyond. It's all here. As you are all. We are returning to the memory of wholeness, absolute wholeness. And thus we bring wholeness into our reality. And thus the wholeness heals the fractures, heals that which is fragmented, that which is lost, that which is trying to get its way around in the chaos. All the 12-strand DNAs are reassembled. The threefold flame reinstate. I am that I am. Know that your being is always here. It is absolutely always here. It is that which is beyond experience, beyond time, beyond place, and beyond emanation. But connect your knowing, connect to the knowing that this being, the I am, is the generator of your experience. And once you harmonize, clear, transmute, transcend the overlays, eclipsing your self. Imagine like the sun is being covered by the moon, eclipsing it. Slowly, slowly, you're daring enough to dissolve. And what happens is that this unlimited, unbridled wisdom, love, presence, the miracle of the pure self is gradually, gradually, gradually finding its way through, removing all of your forgetfulness. And it heals everything in its wake. You need to allow. There's no particular modality, diet, action that you can actually do to know who you truly are. And paradoxically, in this quantum moment, you can realize it. Here, now, and now, and now, and now. Just stay still. Stay. This is where you heal. This is where you are returning to the wholeness. The micro and the macro unite, dissolve into one another. Whatever you intend in this field right now, perfect realignment with health, joy, happiness, contentment, abundance, community, support, love, harmonious relationships, service. Is given. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it is. Let us all visualize that this very powerful light portal is disseminating, dispersing its light, helping everyone in need, everyone on this planet, those in distress, in poverty, in lack, in suffering. May this light heal, reassemble, awaken, transmute, bless, guide, all the beings on this planet. So it is.